Aqua Medicine. I'm here with John and Kurt, and anybody else who may appear or may not appear for our top 5 okayest bassists.
I'm at the camp of that list.
John was going to have the top 5.
Yeah.
So I figured we'll go through our top 5 favorite bass players. Again, this is not the best because I think we'd all probably like, okay, that guy's the best. You know what I mean? You know, he's so
personal choice, personal opinion.
Personal choice, personal opinion. Because there's a lot of good ones out there for sure, and then there's some that are they're good. They're in good bands. You know, they can keep a rhythm. So,
well, there's some that are so good they're just in a fucking category of their own. Like it's just
for sure. And I'm sure we'll talk about a couple of them because they're not on my list. But
like that guy in that video, that I posted.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell that guy was, but damn, that dude was amazing.
Yeah. I think Shane posted one too, a bass player. I think it was Shane. And that was good too. I went down that little rabbit hole because that guy's a bass group, right? So I started going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, man, there's a lot of really good, talented bass players. I don't know who they are, but they're talented for sure.
Yeah, like that. You see that guy that plays for ZZ Top now? He's got that. I don't know how many strings on that. You see that?
Yeah.
He's all down here. And
you like
how you play it.
I mean, come on, man. That's just for show. Like, really, how functional is that?
I know.
How much does that really play?
Really, you only need at least 5, maybe bass. I mean, you could pull it off with just 1, but 5 is like covers everything. But,
yeah. I mean, it's
I could buy it too if you had me. What's up?
Just give me 2 strings and
2
strings and a beer, and I'm fine.
Not fucking around down there too much.
All right, Kurt. So what's your 5?
You want all 5 or just start with a 1?
Just start with your 5. I think it's go pretty quick since.
All right, I got Justin Chancellor from Tool.
I figured he was going to be on your list.
Yeah, he's.
That was my name.
You're saying okay bass players. I was like, I mean, he's better than an okay, but
no. I said your favorite.
Yeah, now I changed it to because he's already my favorite. You know, and he is one of the good ones out there that holds down that solid rhythm. Solid rhythm.
Yeah, he can. I mean, you could tell a Tool song from. I mean, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You always know a Tool song.
Yeah.
There's certain bands that are like that for sure.
Well, what?
Yeah, and he helps write the music too. Like he's a real big part of putting it together. You know, so it's not like he just comes in and lays down a bass line. He's like he made part of that song. He came in with that riff, and they all went around it a lot of times, which is cool. I think.
He was what was his first album that he started with Tool?
Anima. Yeah, right after what do you call it? Undertow. He was the guy originally. Anima was his first. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot the guy's first name. The first guy but he was just with Undertow, and then he left. I don't know why he left. Oh yeah, he wanted to be a guitar player. He's like, hey guys, can we get another bass player and I'll be a guitar player? And they said, sure, we'll get another bass player, but not another guitar player. Why?
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the joke of the last thing the drummer said before he was kicked out was, hey guys, I wrote a song.
Right? Hey, that's not funny.
I heard that from Scott. Him being a drummer, he's like, "Hey guys, I got a song I wrote."
All right, what's yours, John?
Well, it was Justin Chancellor, but the guy that was on the edge, fucking John Campbell, Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Just be able to keep up with those riffs
Yeah, no shit.
in and of itself,
Yeah.
Good point.
pretty fucking, yeah.
And does he use his fingers or pick?
He used a pick.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, even doing the fingers, that would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, those
you
drum
watch-
beats are just like killing.
Yeah, and you watch that shit live, and
Yeah.
that dude. He's not a standout guy. It's not like his shit's prominent in the mix, you know.
Right.
But fuck, that dude be able to keep up with those riffs, and not doing some fucking basic shit just to be in the background, just to add some thickness. He's fucking keeping up with those riffs. That's
Oh yeah, for sure.
pretty impressive.
I mean, if you go see him live, you know, it's like you said, you could feel it too. The you know, it's not just the drums. You know. So
yeah.
Yeah, good one. I like him.
Good idea.
Impressive. So my number 5 is Lemmy. So, and not because he's like some outstanding bass player, but because Lemmy, to me, he's got that dirty rock and roll, freaking gritty, right? It's very gritty to me. And
It's that Rickenbacker he used. You know, they really put out a lot of his sound was based
Through a
on
Marshall head.
playing it
Yeah.
down by the tremolo. You know, that's where he gets that
Yeah.
you know, the
well,
it's
and
tinny, but
yeah,
it's still
because I kind of
fun.
fell into a Motorhead rabbit hole, and I've been for lately. You know, I've always liked them, but I started really diving into their catalog, and I'm like, damn, they're better than I thought they were. You know what I mean? I knew they were good, but they got some stuff that I really like on their albums, and so I've been kind of buying Motorhead albums ever since.
Wasn't
So-
Lemmy a roadie for Hendrix?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
That's what I heard too.
he's been around. I
Yeah,
was
he's been
watching him. I was watching a Twisted Sister documentary.
He's not around anymore.
Well, for neither one.
Yeah.
But he was like
Yeah, for
one
a
of the first people to-
for a guy who did nothing but fucking drink whiskey and do meth constantly. To live that long doing that shit? Come on, man. That's like some Keith Richards shit.
Right. Actually, we probably thought he was going to live forever anyway. So
Yeah, well, I'm sure if he stopped doing both of those things, he'd have died the next day.
probably.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but you know,
There's
like
people,
I said,
people up here that are like that.
Are they now?
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from
Their
that.
body would shut down.
All right, Kurt, what's your number 2?
So I got Les Claypool, obviously.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I figured that was
someone's
coming.
gonna have him on there. I knew it, but I had to say it first. But yeah, for obvious reasons, you know, he's just really good at what he does. And you know, again, you know it's him whenever he starts to play. It's like,
Yep.
well, there's Les. And
Yeah.
he's dabbled in a lot. Which crazy is
Let's play.
Yeah.
he like went to high school with Kirk Hammett, you know, and that, I mean, obviously that's why he had the gig or tried to get the gig from Metallica, but he was way too good. Played way too well for him. But and I've seen Les by him, you know, with his solo band that he has at up here in Tahoe. It was fucking one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like, you know what I mean? It was crazy. I mean, I've seen Primus, but I kind of liked it better when it was Les Claypool with his band. It was badass.
Oh, just him. I say I
Yeah.
seen Primus as well.
Yeah, I've seen
And
Primus.
it's crazy. You know, his stage is everything.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely.
I think so. Is the stuff the solos not as campy as it is with Primus? Like,
Well, so when he
there's
has
a
it,
waste
well,
of
when I
time
seen him with
driver.
the solo band, he had a lot of a lot of people come up with him. Nobody that I knew at the time. Like he used to have, not when I seen him, but I know he has that like Buckethead come up with him, and they did some shit.
Right.
But he plays like Pink Floyd shit, really good, like really well, better, almost better than you. I've never seen Pink Floyd live, but to me, it was like if I ever seen Pink Floyd, there it is.
Well, I think no. I think he was trying to do a Rush cover album or something.
Well, I know he did one with Pink Floyd. It was like something in the Frog Brigade.
Maybe that's what it was.
People in the Frog Brigade. I think that was the Pink Floyd one they were doing.
Because I know he was involved in something. So.
Yeah, but there's another bass player too. You just mentioned Rush.
Yeah.
Geddy Lee. Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good one too, but it's not on my list.
It's not on mine either.
What's your number 2, John?
Give me a minute. I gotta go see if I can fix the internet. You guys are cutting in and out. I got the boys here and they're streaming shit, so I'm gonna have to go kick them off.
Kick them off their video games. Yeah, so that's Claypool. Obviously, he's going to be on there.
I knew that Les was going to be on there. On somebody.
Also, one more that's definitely should be on there, and we'll see if he's on my list, but I'm gonna see if anybody else has him. But it's like a.
Well, I'll tell you all John's list right now. I should have everybody just send me their list. That way I could, like, when you guys say it, I could pop up a picture or something,
Oh, yeah.
But maybe not there.
Oh!
Whoa. You got to buy me a drink before you put me on the ground.
We'll see if that helps.
You got to climb a tree and get as high as you can up in the air with your phone.
Doesn't seem to have helped that much.
No, you might have to get on the roof.
All right, go.
You.
It's your
Well,
list.
this is going to be frustrating if it keeps doing this.
Number 2, you.
So my number 2, my number 4, whatever.
Yeah.
Rex Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rex Brown.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
What are he playing?
Yeah. I think it was.
Again, kind of like John Campbell.
Yeah.
To be able to keep up with some of the shit that they wrote, but also to be able to do his own thing.
And he's in a 4-piece band instead of 5.
Yeah.
Well, and he also played in Down.
Yep.
What else is he playing? He played in a.
He wasn't in Super Joint Ritual, was he? No, he wasn't.
No, he's not in that. He's not even in Phil and the Illegals. So
he has a solo album, and I can't remember the name of it.
He does?
Rex Brown, yeah.
It's solo. We can't even hear it.
Kill Devil Hill. That's what I was thinking.
Kill Devil Hills, yeah. So, right, it's not a solo, but that's his, yeah. And he actually plays guitar.
Because I think I have that album somewhere.
There's some good stuff on there.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Yeah. But like, yeah. I mean,
hey, that's me in the background.
He's not gonna. He's no Les Claypool, but he can do. He obviously keep up and play a groove, right? So
Yeah, he definitely can hold a groove.
So
Yes.
I don't know.
And again, his tone just here. I like him, and I wanted to put Duff on here too, but Duff is more just like their tone. When you hear that tone they have, it's like fuck, like that.
Yeah.
So Rex, Justin Chancellor, and Duff, like those three. Like if I could just have that, find that. Oh fuck yeah! If I could sound like shit with that tone, I'd be happy.
Right? I mean, shit. Well, my number 3 is David Ellefson. So, because I always like the way he plays, man. He just so good, especially the early days, and it was just very prominent, and you had to be a good musician to play early thrash at that time, So
yeah, and to be able to keep up with those again, a guy that could keep up with those riffs, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Peace Sells, right? He's got some good intros.
Yeah, he's got a lot of single bass lines that you're like, oh, I know that song, and right out the bat, like you said, Peace Sells. There's a few in what is it?
Well, even on Rust in
Holy
Peace.
Wars.
Yeah.
Or not Holy Wars, but you know what I'm talking about. Rust in Peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's play on Rest in Peace. It's it's only one of my favorite songs to listen to. And I'm gonna go. It's how come they're not showing all tracks? Track listing. Because it's right after. Yeah, Dawn Patrol. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he plays that whole freaking solo, him and Nick Menza, So,
yeah,
with Dave and his little growl, but yeah, Well, even when we were talking guitar players, none of us mentioned Dave Mustaine, which, I mean, he's good. He's got some good. Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
Feldman. I mean, Friedman.
Yeah.
But there's just way too many. It's just hard to go through. But yeah, Dave. I mean, he's playing with that new. I don't want to say it's a cover band because it's not, but it's that he's playing all old Megadeth with Jeff. And they're playing all Megadeth tunes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He's singing on that, so and playing bass.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd come here one of these days. Actually, I think they did. And they played some small club, but I think I went to the hospital that week or some shit. There was something going on. I know I didn't make it, and I was all bummed out because I was like, damn, because it was small club for sure. So
isn't he one of the main founders of Metal Allegiance?
I think so, actually. He could.
Him and God, I want to say Alex Skolnick.
Ooh, Alex Skolnick.
Did you see Alex Skolnick?
They pull a lot of different guys playing different shit live, but
right.
I think it was him and Alex that came up with the idea to do that. That and the drummer, I believe. It's off the top of my head. It seems like he was one of the guys that came up with that idea, but he does a lot of different shit. He stays busy.
No, he wasn't. It was Mark Manga, bass player.
Oh, okay.
And then he left, and then they recruited Dave. So
okay.
But yeah, no, he's always been one of my favorites. Always. So I figured he got a raw
What was
deal.
what was the deal? Like he supposedly was sending dick pics to a fucking underage.
Well, she wasn't underage, from what I understand.
It just got tabloided out into being something that it really wasn't.
Right, because when they started talking, I guess she was like 17 or something, or like that. But he said, and then it wasn't until like she was 18 or something like that. But he's talked about it, and he said it wasn't. So
what are you doing talking it up with a 17-year-old girl? Come on, man.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she was what age she was. I think she. I know.
And if it got to the point to where when she was legal age, and he finally sent her a dick pic, okay, that's not. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, man.
You're out of Megadeth.
Yeah. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but that's bad fucking publicity.
It is.
I mean, even though it's a fucking showbiz and they're all, whatever.
Well, I remember when Static X's guitar player, he slept with a 17-year-old or 16-year-old, and they booted him. Boom, he was gone. But the problem is when you're at a show, you don't know. You got to check IDs. I mean, nowadays you probably should.
Well, here's the other thing. Different states, different laws.
That's true.
Okay,
yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, his girlfriend, he had, like, I don't want to say early on, but she was 17.
Yeah.
And everybody knew it.
Well,
he hates it when I bring it up. When I bring up fucking celebrity musician pedophiles and all that stuff, like, because she loves Stevie Ray Vaughan. I was like, well, Stevie was a pedophile. I said, fuck, shut up. He was 17. He was fucking 30 years old. What the fuck, man?
Like you said, it depends on state, right? I mean,
it does.
Yeah,
Arkansas, Oklahoma's probably 16.
Well, what was his name? Jerry Lee Lewis? Is that who it was?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
a 14-year-old cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were second cousins. They weren't like straight up cousins, but
still.
Yeah.
Still. Just leave the cousin part out.
Backlash for that.
Oh hell yeah.
He got a lot of shit for that. So.
Even back then. I don't think it was the fact that she was 14. I think that the fact that he was his second cousin. Because back then, you know what I mean? Yeah, Elvis and the Beatles and right there. I mean, they all.
Well, I think Priscilla was pretty young as well. I think she was.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So but then again,
dabbled in it.
was Elvis even 21? I would say,
Oh fuck yes, he was.
My mom had to get emancipated to get married to my dad.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we're California.
Well, and they got Vegas because got married in Vegas. My mom, because they were 17. She was 17 when she got married. So.
How old was your dad?
Well, he's 3 years older. 20. So, 20.
Yeah, I mean he's not even legal drinking age. Like.
Yeah. So.
It's okay. They're still married to this day, so it's fine.
It's the 60s. They're still married.
Yeah, right. No, it's one of those things that say, "Well, those were different times."
Right.
Different times. Her parents knew. Her parents knew him.
That is a good, but that actually is a good point. They are still together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. There's not many. So. All right, which
Oh.
number 3, Kurt?
I got Mike Inez from Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
He's not the
On my
original
list.
bass player, but he actually is better than Mike Starr, I think. The
Well,
original
right.
bass player.
I think so too.
Um,
Oh, he played
he
with
brings a
Ozzy.
lot. He brings a lot to the table, you know. And again, you can know when it's Mike Inez because when he played with Ozzy, he was still he was badass then. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
why I
You
chose
never
Mike.
let friends get friends' haircuts.
That's right. Friends don't let friends give friends haircuts.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is then Jerry Cantrell years later gets a fucking
Yeah,
goddamn
same
short haircut.
Yeah.
No, that was funny.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I remember when he got picked up, I was like, wow, they got a good bass player because I remember we've seen him with Ozzy. you
Yeah, me
know?
too. I remember
So-
seeing him with Ozzy. Same with I think when I seen him with Ozzy, the drummer was the one from Faith No More, the drummer from Faith No More.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mike Borden.
and Mike
Yeah.
Inez, and
He's
then
good
Zach
too,
Wild was the
you know?
guitar player. So that's a
Yeah.
good band right there. Zach Wild.
I seen
Mike
them
Inez.
at Ozfest.
Yeah, I think it was maybe it was no. I think mine when I seen it was with Kiss and Winger, is when I think they were.
Oh boy.
Well, when we seen Ozzy,
Eric, were you sitting there going, I'm only 7, she's only 7.
Only 7, and I was doing this.
flash your boobs.
Yeah. I gotta say though, there was more women at that concert than I,
Oh, I bet.
maybe a tie with the Poison concert, but that concert with the Winger and the and Kiss, that was a lot of women there. So it was
Well, let me
man at that time, I was like, yes.
Oh hell yeah. Well, and let me say this: if you were 17 and you were singing along to that song, that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
You're a grown ass man singing along to that song. That's different.
Yeah.
No, I mean I still have issues. Every time I hear a Winger, I just click. I gotta change it. That's just one band I just can't get into and never could.
Yeah, I never did either.
I got a handful of them if you want to hear them. Nelson is another one.
Yep, here too.
Vixen is another one.
Def Leppard for me.
But there's
come on now.
Can't do it. I can't do Def Leppard. Everybody knows it too. Everybody around me knows it. They go, "Oh, Kurt, here's your favorite song, your favorite band." And then they tell me they're going to get a shirt. They go, "Oh, we're going to get you a Def Leppard shirt." I said, "Why would you do that? I'm not going to wear it." So, why would you give me a shirt that I'm not going to wear? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny though. That's funny.
It's funny to them.
See, everything Pyromania and before. And Pyromania was the start of them, but High and Dry is a fucking great album. And I'll give you this extra little tidbit point on that. You know Exodus, when they first started, they were playing Def Leppard covers?
Oh no.
Really?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Gary. I lost some respect for Gary Hall.
I hate to fucking burst that little bubble there for you there, Kurt, but
Yeah.
Well, I found a video of Chuck Billy doing a cover of "Looks to Kill." Remember that?
I don't know. That's good. That's cool.
what? Really?
You don't remember that? It was on YouTube. Chuck Billy in a club singing "Looks to Kill."
Nice.
With who?
I'll watch that.
I don't know with who.
Who was he? Just a bunch of dudes fucking around?
I think so. I can't remember. I'll see if I can find
That's funny.
All right. What's your number 3, John?
My number 3 is Leon Wilkeson, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That dude was fucking. You want to talk about a guy that used the whole neck play? Just if you just stop, and really a lot of the '70s bands, if you think about it, the bass was very prominent.
It was for sure.
Very prominent.
Yep.
And a lot of some stuff, it's like you hear the bass more than the guitar. Like you listen to Fleetwood Mac, John McVie, you can hear that guy more than you can hear fucking Lindsey Buckingham most of the time.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
and that dude was solid. But yeah, I don't know. Leon Wilkeson, and it really wasn't until I started getting into Skinner in the mid '90s that I was like, holy shit, man.
How much did he do a lot of writing as well?
I'm not real sure about that. I know that they weren't real, like Ronnie wasn't the main, Gary and Alan did their, he'd come up with stuff. I'm sure he, said, hey, I'm not going to stay up here. I'm going to bring it down here. Play shit in a different octave, and just to make it bring more layers, more depth to it. But yeah, and he played with his fingers, which is funny because my last three all play with their fingers. So. I don't know. It might say something, even though every once in a while I try and fuck around with my fingers. I'm like,
that hurts.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
You gotta have the rhythm, the groove.
Yeah, well, when it gets into the I start trying to play some faster stuff. I'll try, and it's like, dude, you don't have enough time practicing with your fingers to do this. Give it up, grab the pick again. Not even in my wheelhouse at all. I like doing it if it's some, like I'll sit and play along with some Fleetwood Mac sometimes, Eagles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll use my fingers because it's not real fast, but when I start trying to play along with some Testament or something, it's like, that's not happening. I'll try it for like fucking 30 seconds, like stop, give it up. it's too late in the game.
My fingers start cramping up or something.
Yeah, I don't go long enough for that to happen. Yeah,
that's funny. All right, my number 3 is Billy Sheehan.
Yeah.
He's one of them too that can just like play up and down, and
and he plays like a guitar almost like.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of them Steve Vai freaks, right? On the bass.
Yeah, he's.
There's a little interview I seen with him, and this couldn't have been more than like 5-6 years ago, maybe. He was talking about how and maybe it was when he joined David Lee Roth Band and with Steve Vai, and Steve Vai already had these licks down, and I guess he just listened to them and then came into rehearsal, and Steve Vai said, no, I want you to play exactly what I'm playing. He's like, what?
So that's where that came in.
He's like, I had to go back and reteach myself how to play this shit. And it's like, how the fuck can you even do that?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard enough you've ingrained how you're going to play this song. And then he's like, no, you're going to play every fucking
finger
just
tap,
like me. Oh, okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Or what, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are so fucking 3 days later, whatever it was. But yeah, like, to be able to do that, fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's always good,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, obviously they're all those were talented musicians. I think Dave just plucked them all and said, okay, we're going to compete with Van Halen, apparently, That's all he cared. That's all he cared about, to be honest with you. I don't think he cared about anything else, So.
Yeah, because even the drummer was good. I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Greg Bissonette.
He's even he's known for his studio stuff, but he still is a badass drummer. So he had like a super group band. Didn't do anything with it except for one album, right? One album.
He did 2.
Was it 2?
Yeah, but the second was
must be
just
like Paradise. Yeah, okay.
I was like, where the hell? They're not even rocking songs. They're just stupid.
Well,
You know?
he wanted to do the Flash or Showman type stuff. David did,
Wow. Well, that one was it was Skyscraper, I think that album was.
Yeah, you're right.
And he was doing all the rock climbing crap, you know.
Oh, and
Must be
I
living
believe that's
in paradise.
well, and I believe that's the album with Jason Becker.
That one is?
I believe that's the one that Steve Vai left, and he got Jason Becker. And Jason Becker was fucking amazing. You ever seen a documentary about that dude? Oh, you don't know who I'm talking about?
No.
You gotta. I'm dead serious. It's one of them Access TV fucking documentaries that I ran across. Just like Terry Chat. I was like, who the fuck is Jason Becker? So, and that dude apparently is still alive, but he ended up with some like muscular dystrophy or some weird shit, and he can't even move, and he does his mouth, and he was only supposed to live like 3-4 years, but they figured out this nutrition system to feed him through, you know what I mean? And he still was writing music on a computer with his mouth.
Damn.
Writing, yeah. Jason Becker, look that dude up. Holy fuck, that dude was badass.
Huh.
But yeah, that's the album that I believe that's the one without Steve Vai. They got Jason Becker, and I don't even think he lasted the entire tour, because that's like in the middle of that tour, the disease hit, and that was it.
Huh.
It's fucked up. He was hella young.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, Jason Becker. But yeah.
Huh.
Billy
Right,
Sheehan, but back to Billy Sheehan. Wasn't Billy Sheehan in UFO?
In UFO? No. He was in Talus. He's in the Winery Dog. He's like one of
Mr.
them.
Big.
Mr. Big.
Are you sure? You sure he wasn't in UFO?
Well, I don't see anything. I'm looking. Sons of Apollo. No, he's never been in. Nope.
Well, I can stand corrected again.
See what happens?
Yeah. No, you're wrong, John. You're wrong.
What's your number 2, Kurt?
I got Flea. Flea is my. And that's
I
the one I
figured he was
figured
gonna be
everybody
on
would
here as
have.
well.
I figured everybody would have Flea on there.
Well,
Even
I
though
like
not-
Flea.
Although I'm not a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan,
I'm
but
not
I do
either.
respect Flea and what he does and how he does it and how he plays.
Well,
he
he
even
makes it
plays the
look
trumpet,
easy.
which is kind of funny, you know. But he knows
That's
his
the first
instrument.
instrument I ever played.
The trumpet.
In band, it's cool. It was trumpet.
Yeah. He's and again, you can definitely know it's Flea when you hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for when you're at the Super Bowl and you're all playing and your shit's not even plugged in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was funny. But whatever.
That's all of them now. That's every Super Bowl fucking.
I know. But it was just funny that you know, he's just like going off and it's not even plugged in.
I was a little surprised that he was picked to introduce Metallica at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That surprised the shit out of me.
Well, they pick who introduces them. So
They what?
they get to choose who introduces them.
Oh wow.
They don't?
Yeah, they do. From what I
That's what I'm
understand,
saying. I thought that was a weird pick for them to pick Flea.
Oh yeah. That they why that is weird. Why would they choose Flea? I think it'd be someone from like Diamond Head or Lemmy or somebody like that.
Dude, so many others. You go, okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. That is weird.
Not even in the same fucking realm.
No.
There's got to be some personal connection there. They know that I don't know. Fuck, I was like, what, really? Like, so he comes out wearing the old school Crash Course in Brain Surgery T-shirt,
Right.
and he's talking like, what the fuck?
Huh. I wonder if it has anything.
I know,
to do
maybe,
with
I know maybe him and Cliff had a friendship early on.
Very well
I'm
could
sure
be.
at some point they ran across each other. I'm sure he was a huge fan of Cliff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
possible. Yeah, for sure. And he was in Back to the Future Part 2.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Flea was?
Uh-huh. He's in the truck. And he's in was he just in that one? He's been in a couple movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Him and Anthony, they were in a couple movies together.
yeah.
Well, Anthony Kiedis' dad is that puck-faced dude that's been in a bunch of movies. And they were in I think the movie Thrashing, which had nothing to do with music. It was about skateboarders and some other shit. They were
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Red Hot Chili Peppers were like the band at this little party.
I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah, I think it was Thrashing.
Huh. Now I have to go watch that movie. It's been so long.
You probably
What's your
last
number
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
My number two is actually my first bass god, Steve Harris.
That
Ooh,
was
yeah.
my number 2.
Yeah, a good one.
Well, we can piggyback on each other. I mean, I'm gonna say. I mean, you got a guy that was obviously a fucking amazing player, but he also was the fucking engine. He wrote.
Yes.
He was the
wrote
main
everything.
songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You sit there and watch him live, and he's sitting there fucking. He's spitting the lyrics along with fucking Bruce.
Well, I was gonna say, as he's my number 2 as well. He was like, when you're watching him, you only see like Bruce and him. You see the other guys are kind of like cut. They're in there, but nothing like Bruce and Steve and he's got that whole what they did the Gallup and they did that. He's a big history buff.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They write about history and you can tell when it's a Maiden song. You really can.
Yep.
So and he's running across that stage like crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
now you got people trying to figure out how many fingers he's using to do that gallop.
Yeah.
Dun. He's only using 2. He's using 2, but people
Are
think
you
he's
sure?
using 3. They
Okay,
just watched him the
backflipping?
other day. He's just doing so fast. He's only using the 2.
Well, he's probably
But everybody always
backflipping with
thinks
one.
he uses 3 because he's what he's doing. But if you actually look, it's just the 2, and then that's crazy in itself. You got
What he's probably doing is he's on one of them. He's back flicking, but he's
Could
not
be.
fucking one way. And one of them, he's
but he's still just using
1,
2.
2,
But yeah,
3.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can back flip.
Yeah.
That dude's fucking. Come on, nobody can touch that dude.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, shit,
It's almost like his
But
strings are so they're not. His strings are just like down tuned so much because you see his strings is flapping around, but they're not. They're in the standard tuning. He's always like, it's just crazy.
And he plays that thing. He's a monster. I mean, he really is.
Yeah.
I don't think
He
anybody.
doesn't really play a fancy bass. You know what I mean? It's just a fucking.
Is it a P bass Fender?
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
if Justin went in here, probably was saying, "Yeah, he probably plays with no gain."
Yeah. And no gain.
Yeah.
No gain. Here we are again. No frill.
12 notes and no gain.
Oh yeah.
So I guess we'll go around number 1s, or do you want to do? I'll let you guys do your number 1s, and then we'll do honorable mentions because there's a few that that are good that I didn't put on my list at all.
Yeah. We can go back to the one.
My number 1's Cliff Burton.
Dude, son of a bitch.
Well, I'm sure it's
I
gonna
had
go
to say it
Cliff.
before somebody. I knew it was going to be in there. I knew it was going to be in there.
Denny knew it was going to be their number one. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, he was my number one as well. So, you know,
Yeah,
I mean, how could he not? If he wasn't on anybody's list so far.
Just imagine if he was still alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's
would have changed
it's
a lot
kind
of
of
shit.
fun.
for a lot of it.
Well, it's kind of like the same. What if Randy? Right? It's the same
Right.
mentality. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they've always said that Cliff would eventually leave Metallica. I don't know if that would happen. Or not.
I see. I've always thought that. So there's two trains of thought that I've thought about that over the years. Is that he probably would have left because he would have got bored with the same shit. But if he didn't leave, this is what I don't think people really think about. Metallica would have progressed into something that, like they did anyway.
Right.
But
You
just
understand
maybe
what I'm
another way. Yeah. But
They would have
it's either going to go left or right. And he went left.
They were not going to. Either way, they weren't going to stay down that same path of what they were doing.
Right. Well, because I
Justice
think
for All probably would have been their last heavy thrash record, or he would have left anyway.
I
Huh?
don't think he would have left during And Justice though.
Or they would have just got harder. Maybe he would have. I don't know.
I don't think
I
so.
don't
I
think
think
so.
what would
I
have
don't-
happened was, like you said, his music would have got better, and they might have been even bigger because you know the whole thing was they wanted to shorten their songs and still make them heavy, right? And make meaningful,
Yeah.
while still making good music, right? I think Cliff would have probably been okay with that. I think as long as he had a lot of, you know, his parts, you know, of course.
And I think they would have absolutely let him,
Yes.
because he taught them. He taught James and Kirk so much. They
Right.
admit it. There's so much shit he knew about melodies and different. Just
Yep.
yeah.
I
That
think,
they were
they would've
so far
listened to
above their head.
yeah. I think
The
wherever
only
he wanted to
person that
go,
could have,
they would have went too, is what I'm thinking.
yeah. I think the only person that could have derailed that to a point to where Cliff was saying, "Well, fuck it, if you're not going to listen to me and you guys want it, then I'm leaving." They would have been Lars.
Lars,
Right.
yeah. Probably
He
because he
would have
couldn't
been the
keep
guy-
up on the drums.
So I want to stay doing this, and he's like, "You're stuck in the mud, dude."
Yeah.
Well, I've heard so many things that Lars had trouble keeping up with the band during recording. Like he couldn't do his own drum beats, and they were on
Well,
they were
he
on the
never
verge of
plays-
kicking them out anyways.
if you could
they were
watch him
right
live,
there.
he never he never plays the same drum beat twice.
No. Because he's really not
I
that
mean-
good of a drummer, really. I mean, if you want to boil
He
it
won't
down,
be in my top
he's
5.
got some good beats. Don't get me wrong,
Hold up.
but he can't keep
He's not
them. He
being
can't.
damn.
He does it in the studio, and that's all he needs to do. All right, I got it down.
Right.
Now it's on
Because
on
he-
the record.
What he does is he uses fills for the rest of all the other shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it sucks. But you know, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, he's just a lucky drummer that they kept him around.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, my argument I had a good friend of mine, Chris Cat. He's they fucking and the argument everybody says, they went and top, and it's like, I just start with this. They told you what direction they were going to go. From Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning, those are two different fucking albums. They told you exactly what the fun and what's the reason. Well, what's the catalyst to those two things? Cliff Burton
Well,
and the exit of Dave Mustaine.
Dave
He
Mustaine,
told you right then and there.
Yeah.
They told you their second album, those two albums are not even the same. They're not.
Right. They were going to be more musically influenced rather than
Yeah.
speed, right?
Not worried about how fast beats per minute and fucking any of that shit. More focused on melodies and James was going to write his lyrics. Cliff wasn't going to fuck with that. Let James, because James writes great fucking lyrics.
Yeah, he does. For sure. Yeah. So one of my alternates was going to be, Robert Trujillo, and because he's just good, he's badass. I said, when we were talking, I loved him in Suicidal, and I loved him in Infectious Grooves.
Yeah. I
always just thought he was just an ace, and I thought when Metallica hired him, I was like, that was a no-brainer to me. I thought, I think that was one of those, Gary Holt situations. Nobody was going to say anything because, okay, it's Robert.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a good point.
So, and even
you certainly couldn't say he wasn't talented enough.
No. I mean, I think that's probably why they didn't. I think he was like in line for number 2, if I recall, right? But Jason got it instead. I thought. I could be wrong. I have to watch that again, but because I remember seeing him in the auditions as well. So,
yeah. Well, it was Battery.
That whole thing. Yeah.
They say it was Battery in his initial rehearsal, but they were all looking at each other like he's playing this with his fingers like Cliff. Holy fuck.
Yeah. But I don't know why they didn't pick him then, but I think it's a no-brainer. And it's funny because at that time he got hired to Metallica. He was an Ozzy. He went to Metallica. Jason went to Ozzy and played because I seen him on that Ozfest.
Oh, that's right.
And I went, that's kind of strange. And then he was also playing in Voivod as well. Jason was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
But Robert, he's Suicidal and Infectious Grooves. He did Ozzy, and he also did Black Label Society.
When did he do that? I didn't.
He toured with them.
Oh, okay.
I have the DVD. I don't remember what the name of the DVD, the live Black Label DVD, but it's Robert playing live.
That must have been in the Ozzy era, because he was playing with Ozzy. They were both.
Yeah. I can't. I have the live DVD. It's him.
Huh.
Robert from the Los Angeles chapter of the Black Label fucking Society.
Doing the crab walk.
The studio stuff for the albums, he never played on an album, but they would because back then Zach he had multiple players. So if he did a West Coast run, he would grab, certain guys.
He still does.
The stuff that I've seen, for the most part, he's found the same guys that he.
Oh, really? Yeah. Because
here's another thing. Here's another thing about Rob Trujillo. So, do you guys remember the Pacific Bell?
I was gonna mention that. That's one of my questions. If I ever get to interview him, I was gonna ask him about that.
Fuck yeah! It's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing it on TV.
I saw it just watching TV one day. I was like, wait, that's Robert Trujillo, like that. And it says Robert Trujillo, musician. He's just jogging, like, hey, and he's like, what? Fucking.
Well, I wanted to ask him how much of that is staged and how much isn't.
Right.
And how much did they pay him?
No, that's the question. How much did you get paid? He probably like fucking $100.
Yeah, he probably didn't get paid shit. Yeah.
I mean, I can't see them searching out this lesser known musician. I mean, what percentage of the country knew who the fuck that guy was?
No.
To go do a commercial. If there was somebody involved with the commercial said, hey, maybe he might have known somebody in the production crew that are like, hey.
Well, I think he was running like Venice Beach or something, wasn't he?
Yes.
So he was definitely on the beach. So
yeah. And you're probably right. That would be a very good question to ask him.
Yeah, that's my $1 million question if I ever talk to him.
He's probably never been asked before.
Probably not. I mean, well, I don't know.
How many people know that? How many people actually saw that commercial and knew who he was. Because that was like, what, early 90s?
Was it the 90s? I thought maybe it was earlier than that. No.
Maybe, I don't. We'll have to research that, but yeah, it was a long fucking time ago.
Let's see. Robert. That didn't take long. He's looked like a little baby.
Isn't his son playing with Suicidal now? Or they were?
Kirk Hammett's kid, I thought. He's playing Suicidal as well?
Yeah, he did for a while.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe the first time he did a show with them, I believe he was like 14 years. Yes, and I believe his first Suicidal show, he was like 14 fucking years old.
Yeah.
He has a band. They have Auto.
What's
have
that?
You guys heard those guys? Auto?
No.
They put an album out like 5-6 years ago, maybe not even that.
Oh.
OTTO. All caps.
Huh.
There's some decent songs in there.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who else? There was one other bass player I was gonna, and I can't remember now. Oh, you didn't put Duff on there.
I did. He was on the cut, but yeah, Duff. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Again, a guy who could sit back there and hold that fucking rhythm down.
Yep.
With a signature tone.
Yeah.
So I have this TC Electronics bass amp combo, and it has this feature that you can. There's an app that you can get, and you could download like remotely right there with your phone.
Presets.
There was multiple players there, different effects, mainly chorus or whatever.
Yeah.
And you could download it into the app, and it would put their signature, and Duff was one of them. And I still have Duff's signature chorus in that, and so you could do it. You could do it through the fucking through the app, or you could do it through your guitar. And actually, I think that's how it. Yeah. So you would take. I'm trying to explain how I did this. You would run it through your pickups, like it would do some shit in the amp, and it would make this weird noise. You'd hold the guitar, get the pickups next to the fucking speaker, and it would start going for like 2-3 seconds, and then all of a sudden, instantly programmed into the fucking amp, you have that effect.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. I had to do it like 3-4 times. I couldn't, but I finally got, and it's still programmed in there. The chorus that I have on that amp is still, it's Duff's fucking chorus. And obviously you can adjust, the level on it, but yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a pedal that you could plug it in. I plug it into a laptop, and you can you go on the website and you download all these presets, and a lot of they had like Dimebags, Tool, Adam Jones, and then you put them in there and you can hear, oh shit, it's their delay, it's their chorus, it's all their shit, and it sounds badass. But the pedal I have, it's like those combo pedals that if you put it onto an amp, big amp, it doesn't sound the same. You know what I mean? You can't use those effects pedals that are they got everything in them already. You got to use a sync. Right. So I found this out the hard way. If you want a sound when you're playing live, you got to do each individual pedal sound. Like if I want a delay, I got to get just a delay pedal. If I want dogs. If I want distortion, you got to get a distortion pedal. You got a chorus, you got to get the chorus pedal. Let me go beat my dogs real quick.
Yeah, bass amp. You know what I mean? I'm just plugged into. I have a big Boss pedal that, you know what I mean, that I have the book for it. I got it cheap used, and all I did was I tried to find the right distortion for when we did Call of Cthulhu, and I could fake Cliff doing his wow.
Right.
Yeah. And now they got them this fucking big that has everything that the big,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, I just keep it simple because you forget you got to set all this shit up and take it back down when you're playing live. So it's like I bought this rack and I put Velcro on the bottom of each pedal I use, and then I just stick it on the rack with Velcro. So I got 4 pedals, and then my channel switcher, and it's all on a big rack, and I just put it right into my case. So I keep it simple these days. Keep it simple, stupid, is what I go by.
Absolutely.
You're in, and I'm in, and I'm done and broke down before everybody in the band. I'm like already gone, and they're all still breaking down.
Even before Kevin?
Even before Kevin. Yeah. Well, in his defense, he brings lights and
he's got the PA and stuff, right?
But he brings overkills it with the PA. Like we got fucking subwoofers going. We've got fucking his PA, and then we got monitors, and then it's like he went crazy for a while there. I guess there was a website or an app he was using that was kind of like you buy stuff off it, and he kept getting good deals on PAs and
Temu.
In fact, I got a guitar I bought off him that he got off there, and he was just going crazy. And so we got subwoofers, fucking everything.
Well, probably like what musician's friend.
Well, it was some new one. I forgot what it was called, but it was like
Reverb.
Was that
Reverb?
No,
Reverb.
No. If you said it, I would remember, but it's not Reverb. It's just it's something like what was that? WhatsApp type shit. Not WhatsApp, but it's like that kind of shit. You look at it and you go, "Oh, I could." This person's bidding on it, and I'll bid on it, and then you wait. And
I know. Yeah.
Type shit.
Like
it's not like eBay or nothing, but it's something like that. But it was some new one. But
it's like Dash.
Coming with new stuff all the time. He kept coming with new amps.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Go down that rabbit hole of shopping online.
Yeah, exactly.
Temu will get you in trouble.
I got my perfect combo. I got my Gibson Les Paul with my Marshall amp. Perfect combo. I'm set. I'm not buying anything else. I got.
There you go.
I don't use a distortion pedal. I just use the gain on the amp. So it's not like I don't run a distortion. Yeah. So I think Justin would be proud of me, right?
That's right.
And I'm only using 12 amps.
No gain. Minimal gain.
Yeah, right. Minimal gain. It's about halfway.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
what's the next?
I figured drummers next, of course. We'll say vocalist for the last, and I'll bring in Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, bring in Kevin.
Are you gonna call it top 5 vocalists, or are you gonna call it top 5 frontmen?
Well, those are two different things. Probably vocalists.
I know.
That might be how you decide which one's the better one. Is that they're a frontman and a vocalist?
Right, because they might not be. Because David Lee Roth, great frontman.
Great frontman.
Not a good vocalist.
Not great vocalist.
And obviously, not a good vocalist.
Yeah.
He was much better early on, but great frontman. I'm sorry, Kurt, but come on.
Yeah. I like Lane Staley is a good frontman or a good singer, but he's not really a good frontman. He doesn't do anything. So when he was alive, he would just sit there.
Well, that's because he couldn't.
Yeah.
Toward the end. Yeah. And listen, it doesn't have to be a hype man frontman. Doesn't have to because Stevie Ronnie Van Zant will be on my. Ronnie Van Zant was a great frontman.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't do a lot on stage. did on stage. He's up there barefoot and but his presence, there was just something, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? What's their stage presence?
Well, they had so many people on there. They got a so big old band that he couldn't really move anyways. It was just like you're going to run into one of their 3 guitar players. You're going to run into one of the backup singers. It's like you get a big band like that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But even when they only had 2 guitar players. And,
yeah.
See, again, this is all preference, opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's great.
We'll probably do like vocalists and then do a frontman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, see, vocalist and singer, kind of 2 different things.
I don't know.
If you think about it, can a guy sing or is he the vocalist? Sean Killian, Violence. See, I said I'm not a singer, I'm a vocalist.
Really?
Yeah. That's one thing that he. I consider myself a vocalist, not a singer. Man, there's a fine line between singing and.
Is that because you play an instrument along with? So.
No. And I don't consider myself either fucking part of any of that category. I just try to yell in key.
I'm a throatist.
There you go.
Growler.
Yeah. That actually could be a different category of its own.
Yeah.
Who's the best growler? Yeah. Because I guarantee Jamie Jassett is no vocalist or a singer.
No.
But he's a good frontman, and he, that's one of them frontman things, right? So.
Yep.
So yeah, but I think
you want to talk about throatist? We could delve into that. Throatist, fucking George Fisher would be one of the greatest throatists of all time. Cannibal Corpse Grinder.
Oh yeah,
George Fisher.
Oh my God. Any of those guys.
That dude's neck is as big as my fucking leg.
Yeah. Probably because he told a headbanging he's doing for years and years. Circles. He's been doing circles.
Well, Chuck Billy, same thing, He's
big.
But
yeah.
Hey, you see that that beer that I tagged you in?
Yeah.
Did you see Alex Golik hearted it?
He what?
He hearted it when I tagged your name. He
hearted your name? No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
He hearted it.
It's a real Alex Golik, though.
I don't know. Is it their page? I don't know.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because there was an Eric Peterson on Facebook, and I got a wild hair at my ass one night, all fucking beard up, and I got a like or a heart on something I comment on, and I was like, "Hey, man, I've been a fan forever." He's like, "Hey, fucking," and I get a message back for this. It wasn't him, turns out, and I was like, "Hey, man, I do this fucking stupid little radio show. Would love to have a call in on it." And he's like, and I said, if this is the real Eric Peterson. And this dude come back like, well, fucking, he got all pissed off and, I don't do anything for free. And I was like, what? So I happen to know somebody who actually knows Gary Holt. His wife is friends with Lisa Holt. And I messaged him and I was like, hey, I sent him all this shit. I was like, I don't think this is real. I don't know. Maybe, at some point in time you can, and he's like, yeah, she don't know, fucking da, da, da. And then like 2 weeks later, there was a post on the Testament official page telling people, we don't respond to anybody. None of us will message you back on anything.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, this motherfucker. Because Gary, and I even put this in one of the messages to this Eric Peterson. I was like, yeah, because I know that Gary Holt has somebody been out there pretending to be him for years. Like copies and pastes all of his Instagram stuff. Gary Holt himself says, I don't have a Facebook page. This person has been doing this for years, and I've been trying to get it shut down, but I can't. And I knew that, and I put that in one of the messages to this Eric Peterson. And yeah, the dude was like total dick. Like, what do you mean? I'm offended, and I don't do anything for free. And I was like,
that's your first clue. If anybody says anything for money, it's no, sorry, you don't do interviews. Who are you? This isn't. You aren't friggin'. You're not a consultant.
Yeah.
You're not consulting anything. Anything you're promoting.
I've even gone on a couple of those, the fake Gary Holt and the fake Eric Peterson. And I commented, y'all know this ain't him, right?
Yeah.
Block me,
so
whoever this is.
I watched this this interview. It was like an hour-long interview with Doc McGee. You know Doc?
Yeah.
So he's on this podcast and he's talking. He put together it's all done, I guess, and a documentary on the Moscow Peace Festival. It's like 90-minute episodes, right? And I was like, well, I've been waiting for this thing forever because I always had questions. And did you know that they swapped him? Well, we got hosed when we watched this thing because Ozzy headlined. Because Ozzy was the biggest thing in Russia, right? They didn't know anybody else. They only knew of Ozzy.
Right.
And he says on there, when we got to view it, they swapped him. Bon Jovi because Bon Jovi was the biggest band here. So I was like, so we didn't even see it the day that it was supposed to be done. Does that make sense? And they actually played for 2 days. There was 2 days they played. And it wasn't just the one day. And I was like, I always had questions about that because why would you go over there and we only play 3 or 4 songs? You know what I mean? That never made sense to me. Because even on the DVD or the DVDs, the VHSs that I have, there were only 3 or 4 songs from each band. And you're like, I'm like, at first I was kind of mad. I'm like, fuck, you spent all that money. And I thought, well, I didn't pay for it. So Kevin paid for it.
The pay-per-view.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're just like, geez, man, they kind of rip people off, if you ask me. They had all that stuff. But he showed a trailer. It's kind of like on his phone. You can't see it hardly. Other than there's a few things. And if you watch any of that, you recognize it right away. Some of the stuff is taken straight from MTV. So
who owns all that footage?
That's what I wanted because Doc said he took a lot of footage. So,
well, I mean, like the professional. I mean, there's the video, like the stuff we see it was professionally filmed. Like that stuff is all that entire show is archived somewhere. Somebody has it. I can't believe that at some point it hasn't been released on DVD. It would make $1 million a first day.
Yeah. Well, I think Doc has most of it because he's the one who put this festival together. So,
right.
But we'll see. Because I always said, why aren't these on DVD? Why didn't we get the whole show? Why? You could.
Well, you could argue that same point about all of the Day on the Greens. Like, why weren't they released on DVD?
Yeah.
At this point, I mean,
Jams, right? Because
the
Aerosmith played on 2 that I know of. Yeah, Us Festival as well, right? They were all shot and filmed. Who owns it?
Can't you buy the whole Woodstock?
Yes.
Isn't that available?
Yeah, that's available.
Like the whole 2-3 days, the whole thing.
I think it comes in a big ass box set, but yes, you can buy it. I think there's a couple different versions of it.
Right.
Yeah. Because I sat there and watched. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It must have been like 3 or 4 hours I watched and watched and watched of that Woodstock. It wasn't no 3-4 days, 2-3 days, but I'm sure there's a box set somewhere because they did film it. That's the thing that's what got him out of the hole was filming that thing.
It's so much money to be made there.
Yeah.
The day on the greens.
Yeah.
Monsters in Moscow. I'd take my money.
Well, you know they filmed Monsters
Take
of
my
Rock.
last $5.
Remember when they filmed Monsters of Rock? You know, the Van Halen, Metallica, Scorpions, Dawkins? Where's all that? Where's that? That never came out either.
Yep.
I know it was filmed.
Yep.
So I don't know who owns it.
Professionally filmed. Multiple angles.
Yeah.
Professional audio.
Yeah. Because when they did that special on MTV, I remember that each one of them got a little, their own little 10, 15-minute spot. But someone filmed that whole thing. And it had to be more than one show. So
yeah,
I don't know. I was told that just about every band records their set through the sound. So
yes,
and like Kiss has been putting out these soundboard recordings for the last few years. They'll put out a soundboard recording for different years, different eras. And I thought, wow, that's cool. I wish more people would do that. I know if you're a member of Metallica, you can go. I actually have the Boise one where you can go and download.
Yeah, you can go back and watch the show that you went to.
I actually have.
Well, we didn't have member.
We didn't have ours on video. It was on audio only at that time. Now it's on video as well. But so yeah, I have that one when they played with Godsmack, I believe. So, but yeah. So, and they said they've been doing that for years. Every band does it. So why, if I'm a band, say like even like Quiet Riot, right? Why not put out a couple of live ones unless they're really bad? Well,
that could be the case. But in today's digital age, you can fix that in post.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can mix it and clean up all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
So yeah, I mean it's just crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of this baffles me. Why we don't have more? I don't understand. Because you don't have.
I'd be like, take my money. I'll fucking buy it. I'll watch, and I'll probably only watch it once, and then it'll just sit with my collection.
Right.
But guess what? I might have a wild hair at my ass one time, and I want to watch it 10 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still have DVDs like shit that I've only watched once, maybe twice. Like, okay, but I have it. Every once in a while, I'm like,
That's how I am as well. So.
I wonder if it's because in the age of, nobody buys physical anything. They're just like, nobody's gonna buy it. But it's like there's a generation, an entire generation that grew up on this shit. They will absolutely pay for it. And who gives a shit about the fucking millennials or whatever's that aren't, you know what I mean? Just don't put it out on streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it, you know what I mean? You don't have, the record company, you don't have to release it to Spotify, just the audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what the fuck? There's record companies that won't release albums shit on the Spotify right now.
Yeah.
Violence, oppressing the masses is not on Spotify.
Well, and I guarantee you, Badlands, is Badlands on there? Because I don't think
that's another perfect example.
Well, that will never be released again. There's too many. There's a lawsuit, I guess. So
you can find it on YouTube. Sure.
Yeah, Ray Gillen though. That lawsuit against Ray Gillen, pretty much.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So they won't release it anymore. They said every few years there's a record company that will try and release it, and then it gets shut down right away. So
Because I know, is it Voodoo Highway that's on Spotify, or is it the first Badlands that's on Spotify?
might
One
be
of
the
them is
first
not
one,
on
'cause
Spotify.
well, because you can still hear the first one. You know, Dreams in the Dark.
On
and shit like
Spotify,
that.
it's on Spotify.
I think so. I know it's on. It's
One of those
satellite
two
because they
is
play it.
not.
I think it's
Yeah.
Voodoo Highway. So, yeah, it's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
So the next one, I don't know when we're gonna do it, but it'll be drummers for sure. So, do you have Paramount Plus, John?
Do I what?
You have Paramount Plus?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
Why? What's on Paramount Plus?
Well, you can watch that Nothing But a Good Time, that documentary.
Oh,
You can watch the first
that's
one on
only on
YouTube.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, you can watch the first one on YouTube. The first episode. There's 3, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't watch enough TV. I don't pay for streaming. I have Prime Video. You know what I mean? Because I have Prime.
Right.
But and Netflix, I have basically just because I have my my ex-wife and my daughter gave me the fucking shit. So, but I don't even watch a lot of. I really don't even watch a lot of Netflix. Although I did. My second oldest grandson, he was like, "Hey, Papa, can I go in your room and watch Cobra Kai?" I was like, "What?" And I told him, "No, you're not allowed to watch that until you watch the first original Karate Kid." I said, "You ain't gonna watch part 2 or part 3, but and so we sat and watched the original Karate Kid, and then I was like, "Okay, now you can go watch Cobra Kai because now you know."
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is like a month and a half ago, and I sat there and we binge watched it together the rest of the night, and then into the morning. I was like, "Holy shit, this is a great show! I like Johnny. He's still kind of a dick. You know what I mean?
Understood.
It was so good. And Ralph Macchio, still, what a pud!
Yeah.
What a fucking pud!
They made him look like the hero, and the other guy was the
Right.
Right?
They swapped it.
yeah.
They did. Because
leg.
I remember when it first came out, and everybody was touting it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. We're really, but yeah, fucking A.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, fellas.
All right.
I'll see one person tomorrow.
Hey.
The other one I'll see next week.
Yeah,
Later.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, drums next week?
I don't know. Next week. We'll see.
Okay, yeah, maybe not next week, yeah, because I got to do the show, and
Yeah.
I don't do the show when I got the boys here, so
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
yeah.
All right. Well, maybe 2-3 weeks. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe
whatever.
time to start thinking. You know.
Yeah.
Thinking which ones aren't going to make the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole list of them, and I'm like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, man.
All right. Peace.
All
Peace.
right, see you tomorrow. Later, John.
See you guys.